The market price may look bearish, but there is so much going on that today, of all days, has been insane. In fact, one of the most bullish days I've known for a while, but the price still is not moving. Forget that. We're going to break down some key things you need to be aware of in this market, why I think we've still got a massive move coming, and more importantly, a project that, well, someone just bought $500,000 worth. Pretty crazy to think about. All of that though, however, in this video. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button if you want to stay up to date with all the latest in cryptocurrency. Let's get into it. So for many of you that follow my XRP content, and if you saw my update video that I did earlier, there has been some big moves in these ETFs. Number of filings going through from many of the big players in the space, Bitwise, as well as ARC21. We also see a number of others, Wisdom Tree being one of those, filing for these ETFs. Now, the SEC now having 240 days to either approve, delay, or reject these ETF signings. These are a big deal. And what's more important here is how quickly this all seems to be moving under the new Trump administration. Now, I talked about this yesterday. This is a big deal. Like I said, if you're watching my XRP content, this has to be a moment in time where you truly believe it's all about to change, and it's all about to change for the absolute better. Now, the SEC weren't done though, and this is where you truly think there is an absolute shift at the SEC. They ultimately now acknowledge an amendment for Grayscale's spot Solana ETF. This is wild. On the same day that all these XRP ETFs come out, the SEC saying, yeah, okay, we absolutely get that. We'll see the proposed rule change and list the trade shares of the Grayscale Solana Trust as a potential exchange traded fund. They filled out the exchange filed amendment number 1 to proposed rule change. So this is a big deal. Could we even get a Solana ETF at the same time as well? This is a crazy day. And what's important here, understand that both of these things are now aligning the SEC to a certain way of working. They are much, much more pro-cryptocurrency. They're much pro-regulatory framework and adoption of the space. These are two big things that under Gary Gensler regime, we would definitely not have got there. I think this is why it's so bullish. And the reality here is that ultimately the US needs to catch up. For years and years of suppression, Operation Choke Point 2.0 is going to come out everywhere. But you've got the Czech president here announcing that right now they are going to remove capital gains tax on Bitcoin after 3 years of holding. This is a big announcement, and globally is absolutely a monumental move. And don't forget, this is something that Trump has talked about. This is something that the US were ultimately the first. Those US-based cryptocurrencies are such like XRP, as well as many others, the opportunity to have zero tax on capital gains. Now, yes, I know some of you will say, well, this is Bitcoin 2-bit, not altcoins, but it's a step nearer. The fact that you're not going to pay capital gains tax on your cryptocurrency if you're in the Czech Republic is a very big deal. And I think more and more are going to form part of that. Now, you may think, okay, it's all just a bit smoke and mirrors. Why would the US government really be so pro-cryptocurrency? What would be in it for them? Well, you have to kind of double back on this. World Liberty Finance, we've talked about this for a number of times. We're tracking the portfolio. We're seeing what they get. Well, earlier on today, they bought a staggering $450,000 worth of Ondo. Now, for many of you that have been as part of my live stream, you know that we've talked about Ondo Finance significantly. We've also talked about why Ondo Finance is incredibly bullish and why we think that Ondo Finance is in for a big move. The reality here is when you start to break down World Liberty Finance, you can see it here. Look, they now own a whopping 471,960 Ondo Finance. And remember, I've talked about Ondo Finance for a while, tokenizing US treasuries on the blockchain. Well, what do we know that's coming very, very soon? We know that they're going to have to print money. They're going to have to inject liquidity into the market. How do they do that? They create US bonds and treasuries. Well, who is tokenizing them? Ondo Finance. Imagine, just for a second, if you will, that all of a sudden Ondo Finance becomes the protocol backed by World Liberty Finance that lists US treasuries and bonds on the blockchain for people to have. Has the whole Trump NFTs meme coin thing been running up to this, where they fundamentally change how the US operates its financial structure? This could be huge, and one of which I am not prepared to miss out. So I actually have some Ondo. We've been talking about it on the channel for a while. We got in a decent price, actually, I think about 80 cents. So I'm ready for it, and I'm absolutely dialed into the potential that Ondo has. Ondo Summit was incredibly bullish. I see loads of people now on Twitter talking about how they're going to buy into Ondo, how it's going to be this big thing. And I think, for one, people are simply going to miss out on the massive potential. So doubling back on World Liberty Finance, we know that they're absolutely moving and shaking. Eric Trump coming out saying, hey, great time to have Bitcoin. Get ready. In my opinion, here's a prediction for you in the next 24 hours. You see a get ready for Ondo coming out of the Trump administration. I think this could be a big deal. And that's not to say that we don't see an executive order very, very soon as well. So what are the markets doing? Well, look, they are where they are. We've seen some pretty much downtrending, but the longer term is very, very optimistic indeed. I actually tweeted out a very interesting tweet earlier on that I think is definitely worth your time checking out. And if you want to make sure that you are up to date with all the latest what I'm putting out there, definitely go and follow me, link in the description. But I put this out earlier, specifically about Bitcoin and those Bitcoin runs. And generally speaking, over the previous 3, going back all the way to 2009, we roughly do about 1,440-ish days between bull markets. That's from the previous all-time high to the new all-time high in that cycle. And what's interesting is that has been pretty much the exact thing for the last 3 bull market cycles. Well, guess what? Potentially a 1,440 days cycle as of right now in 2025 takes us to Monday, the 20th of October as a potential market top if it follows the previous 3 bull market cycles. So all these people that tell you the market's over, everyone telling you that there's no more opportunity, I am here to say I don't believe it, and I think the best of the market is yet to come. You look at some of the fundamentals that's happening, you look at what's going on in Wall Street, as well as just some technicals. Watch out, October could be pretty interesting. Look out for that market top. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. What do you think of Ondo? What do you think of US Treasuries going on the blockchain? And ultimately, when do you think the market tops in? I'm going for the 20th of October, 2025. As always, thanks so much for watching. Hit that like and subscribe button. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.